Hey, welcome back to Lick of the Week. We're talking about endings in this video. The previous video from last week we talked about three pretty essential Scruggs style introductions, and those are just a handful of the introductions that you might hear in Scruggs style. But again, I didn't want to spend a lot of time on too many licks because it would take a lot of videos to cover all the different variations of the standard ideas that you hear. I just want to stick with the ones that are foundational and that ones that are really prevalent that you need to know. So let's do the same thing with the endings. Let's pick a few endings that are what I consider essential Scruggs endings. They're easier to play than some of the more complex ones, and they're ones that you need to know anyway because they're really prevalent. So here's ending number one. And again, the function of these endings is to give a definite stopping point for a song. Just as your introduction is a way for all the musicians to have a logical place to enter the body of the song together, endings are a way for the other players to know that you're about to end the song. If it falls on you as the banjo player to end the tune, then you need a definite recognizable lick so that the other players will know, oh, I recognize now that he's getting ready to stop the song. So it's a logical place for everybody to end. This is actually a lick borrowed from ragtime music, but it's been adopted by bluegrass banjo, and it's just a really cool ending lick that's immediately recognizable. It's called the shave in the haircut. Again. Now, I'm doing a rolling version. There are other versions that involve pinches. You may see players do different hand positions, but I'm going to just give you one basic version and let you explore some of the other variations on your own. I'm using the classic Sally Gooden / Cumberland Gap position, which is 2 notes out of a number 2 shaped G chord, and that involves using the index and the ring finger in 8 and 9 on the 1st and 2nd string, leaving these 2 fingers available to add other notes. Now what I'm going to do is reach over here with the pinky to the 11th fret of the 2nd string at the same time I hold 8 and 9. So I actually have 3 notes on the fingerboard at the same time, but I'm only going to play one of the fretted notes at a time before I remove the pinky. So the roll pattern will be 2, 1, 5, and then I'll remove the pinky. Again from the top. 2, 1, 5. Now play 2, which is the same note as the 5th open. It's one of those quirks of Scruggs style. So when you start the roll pattern with the pinky at 11, it actually cancels out the 8th fret of that same string. So you won't hear it until you remove the pinky and you strike it with your finger. So we have 2, 1, 5, 2. Now the middle finger comes into play, no pun intended, and grabs the 3rd string at the 9th fret, which is an E note, and then drop back to the 7th fret of that same 3rd string. And you notice I'm using the index finger and I've released the position because I don't need the Sally Gooden position or the Cumberland Gap position anymore. I'm near the end of the lick. So again from the top, 2, 1, 5, 2, 3, 3, and you notice the durations of the notes change. We start with the roll pattern, and then they get sparser because they're individual notes instead of a roll. And we finish the lick with 16 and 17 on the 1st string. Shave and a haircut, 2 bits. And you can tell this is a really old ragtime ending, one for the sound of the lick, the ending, and that the shave and the haircut was 2 bits, which was I think 50 cents. You can't get a shave and a haircut for less than $14.95 now that I'm aware of. Okay, now since we're in the middle part of the neck, there's a really great Scruggs style ending that revolves around the same number 2 chord shape. Here's the ending. Really duration specific. I mean, it has different lengths of notes inside the lick itself, and it's syncopated. The notes themselves are a slide probably from 6 to 8 on the second string, and then immediately play the 8th fret of the second string. So you're sliding from 6 to 8 and then playing the note again. Now reach over here with the the ring finger of the left hand, 9th fret of the 3rd string, which is the same note we used in the shaving the haircut lick. Walk that note down chromatically, 1 fret, eventually winding up on 7 on the 3rd string. Alright, now you're going to reverse direction and go back to 9 on the 3rd. Index will play, or will hold, the 2nd string at 7, and then finish the lick out with the 8th fret of the 2nd. Now again, fingering is up to you. You can choose to use different fingers. I'm just using what's comfortable for me. And watch your X and Y position so that you can alter the tone. You can find some pretty interesting tonal variations. Now let me fire the metronome up for both of these licks. About 72 beats a minute. And again, you can mess around with the syncopations to get a little different flavor. So those are two really familiar up the neck licks. Now let's drop down to the lower position. Let me show you a couple of really cool lower position licks. This is a basic concept that can be variated a lot, but I'm just going to give you something that you can build upon. I'm going to pinch 1 and 5 while holding the 1st string at 5. Move down to the 2nd fret of the 1st string, pinch 1 and 5 again, pinch 1 and 2 open, then do a push off from 3 to 2 on the 3rd string, play the open 3rd, 4th string 2nd fret, then pinch 1 and 3. And again, you'll hear a lot of variations of this lick involving different combinations of notes and strings, but they pretty much have their foundation in one solid idea. So let's just stick with something basic, and I'll let you work out the variations on your own. Again, 1 and 5, pinch 3 times, adding these 2 fret positions. 5, 2, open, push off on the 3rd, open 3rd, 2nd fret of 4, pinch 1 and 3, open. So let me fire the metronome up. So that's a pretty common idea. Now let's move to the same location down low, but this is going to involve a pretty cool chord idea. You're going to slide into your number 1 shape G, and then pinch all 3 of the bottom strings. Take your ring finger and drop down to a bar C position and pinch 1, 2, and 3, and then go back to your G and play either a strum or a pinch, and then probably an open G as a strum. So let me fire the metronome up for that one. Syncopated pattern. Listen to the flow of the notes against the metronome and see if you can mimic that syncopation or come up with your own. So there are 4 pretty distinct and what I consider essential Scruggs ending phrases. Have fun with those. See you next video. Thanks.